We have Austin Adubu with us this morning. Good morning, Austin.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm fine. Are you?
Very well. Okay, so let's delve into the issues. I'm sure you must have come across some of the uh, big stories out of the newspapers this morning. The most eye-catching of the stories this morning has to do with the president signing those bills into law, especially as it relates to the devolution of powers and all of that. What did you think of that particular news story when you saw it?
Yes, these are efforts geared towards devolution of power. Don't forget, bill as to so the president a whole number of areas like electricity, for example, meet state authority will have been better in the country, especially as is regard to states in the past that invested heavily in independent power plant projects. Then on the issue of prison too, the one you refer to as exclusive legislative list, it is now in the concurrent legislative list, which suffice to say that state can also legislate on them, which means that state can also create their correctional facility through the state houses of assembly. Then another catching out of the ascent is the railway. The railway transportation system has also been removed from the exclusive legislative list. It is now in the concurrent list, which means that state can also legislate on them, can create their own rail corridor, and also invest massively in them.
Right.
Another area is also the assent of Mr. President to a particular clause that states that 60 days after taking oath of office, the president or governor must assemble their ministers and commissioner and forward same to the National Assembly or the state houses of assembly. You know, this has become an issue over time,
Okay.
wherein you have a president like President Muhammadu Buhari, for example, took almost 6 months to be able to assemble his cabinet. We have seen governors who took over a year, Aregbesola, Obaseki, and so many others like that.
Mm.
Took over a year to be able to assemble their cabinet. It is not acceptable. You must hit the ground running. So these are areas and highlight of the president has said that came yesterday, just a day to the second round of election, which is the gubernatorial election in the country.
Right.
All of these are a welcome development. Of course, I think the president perhaps committed to righting the wrong. You know, these are some of the things he did in office. He benefited from them fraudulently. Now he wants to set the record straight, perhaps to also put the incoming administration in a very tight corner. That is another school of thought. A lot of things that people are throwing up.
Right.
Well, we believe that it's not going to be that bad again. For a president, for someone, for example, who said his presidential ambition is a age-long ambition or lifelong ambition, I don't see any reason why it should take more than a month at most to be able to assemble the cabinet.
Mm.
Look at President Muhammadu Buhari, for example. He has been in the presidential race from 2003. And after 2015, when he won the election, it still took him up to about 6 months to be able to assemble his cabinet. So all of this period of vacuum, a lot of things were to play down. A lot of investment could be lost because the president alone cannot do the job, or the governor. That is why the constitution recognizes that some people should be appointed to assist in the running of government. So by and large, I think the ascent is a welcome development
Right.
that the president has been able to do. Let's see how that will translate to areas of comparative advantage for states across the country, because we have always advocated devolution of power. Power is too concentrated at the center. We have almost 19 clauses or thereabouts in the legislative list,
Right.
and on the exclusive list alone, we have about 63 items, and we said that this is far too much. The federal government should not have business in some area. States should be allowed to also determine how some things run in the country. So now that this is coming, I think it's a welcome development.
All right, certainly eases the burden on the federal government, because a lot of people have said in the past that the exclusive list is quite heavy on the federal government. So this particular, devolutions of powers and the amendments by Mr. President, of course, you would agree that it's going to be something that helps going forward, especially the federal government and how it conducts its affairs.
Yes, it's going to help to a large extent, but one will have just wondered if the president has this intention, why not? Why don't the president or all of this come to play before now?
Right.
Don't forget, by May 29, the president ceases to be president after he will have completed his second term in office. So, good policies are always very important, and the timing too is also very important. Timing is also tied to the motive. You understand?
Right.
So, like I said, this 60 days clause now, it was the National Assembly that came up with it. If the president had wanted it, he would have pushed for it. I don't always want a situation where people get into office, they feel they can get away with so many things. When they are about leaving office, they want to set the record straight. It's just like setting a booby trap for the other administration that will take over from them. So the exclusive list is too heavy. The federal government is having too many things to deal with, so many things that they don't really have business in. So the point really is that for those that are coming into government, when you get into office, you hit the ground running. The idea of waiting till the dying minute of an administration before signing so many things, because if those things have been signed maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago,
Right.
the president will have also monitored and supervised the implementation. Now it's a different ball game entirely. Like I said the other time, it's all good for our system, it's good for governance, it's good for democracy. One will also look at it hypocritically from an angle that a president that took about 180 days to put up a cabinet is signing a bill into law.
Now, I was
That
going to
mandates
raise
another
that with
person to
you,
put up
because
his
people have
cabinet
said,
within 60 days.
Austin, people have said that isn't this a sign of hypocrisy? This is a government that took 60 days or thereabout, and now, like you said, 180 days or thereabout, and now you're saying that people should do this within 60 days.
Yes, I said it's a lot of people are concerned about the timing, because, like I said earlier, the timing and the motive goes together. So going forward, I think we should learn from some of these things. Someone like Asiwaju, for example, I don't expect that it will take him up to a month to be able to form his cabinet. You have to be purposeful from day one, bringing up your cabinet together. If you notice ambition for a whole number of time, people that are competent all across the country. So we can definitely get the best of us to work for the rest of us. So it's not something that one should waste time. Look at President Muhammadu in 2015, for example. Even after 6 months, he set up his cabinet. Nothing actually changes, because people felt that he was waiting to get some angels into his cabinet.
Right.
But at the end of the day, some of his cabinet members at that time were either two-time former governor of a state. Some of them are having cases with EFCC and what have you. Some of them are having one burden, one moral yoke hanging on their neck or the other. So you must make a while the sun shine. A lot of this period of 6 months at that time, a lot of things fell apart in the country. So going forward, these are areas of learning point that we begin to put together for the incoming administration to be able to learn. Now it has become a matter of law. Let's see how it goes. 60 days. Like I said, it's not only President Muhammadu Buhari that is culpable. We have a couple of governors across the country who will get into office. They will say they will inaugurate cabinet. Some of them took as much as 18 months for them to put up their cabinet. So monies that should accrue to these offices, where do they go to at those particular point in time? Not as if the state was better off for it. If you want to pull down the cost of governance, you want to reduce the cost of governance, I don't think it should affect statutory provisions by the law, because as a matter of law, cabinet members are supposed to be appointed. That is what the law says. So now that the president has signed this, in the coming administration, let's see how it goes. But in a nutshell, there is no point really wasting time. We are gradually looking in the direction of devolution of power. And indirectly, when you devolve power, you are also restructuring. We have told the government the best way to go is restructuring. We hope that the incoming national administration will look in the direction of restructuring. Because whether we like it or not, if we fail to consciously restructure the system has a way of restructuring itself. And a lot of things has happened in that regard. So let us tinker with the structure, because the current and existing structure is not really working again. The president should also be audacious in a way to look at the issue of state policing. Look at the issue of state policing. The current unitary system of policing, the current federal and concentrated policing structure is no longer viable for the country. It is not really working again. So let's look at the of having a policing system that is closer to the federating unit, which is in the idea of a state policing. We cannot say that because we fear that a process could be compromised, then we will not test run it at all. So let's look at the issue of decentralizing the unitary policing structure that we have in Nigeria. A police system that will be familiar with the terrain, a police system that can work with the chief executive officer of the state without having to take orders from Abuja, orders from above. So let the president also look in some of this other area, because if we talk about devolution of power, there are so many areas it cut across.
All right, Austin, another issue that would concern a lot of people is the number of bills. We have 16 of them. Like you said earlier, in an ideal situation, it would have been nice for the president to actually, see to the execution of these bills before leaving office. Now, with a couple of months, or less than a couple of months, they're about to go. 16 bills, just dropped like that. Are you certain of the due diligence that might have gone into, that? Are you certain that these bills were, carefully looked into, and they're set to go, as it were?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think they are set to go. We talk about the timing. It is also the manner with the National Assembly or every assembly. When they are almost leaving office, they will come up with certain bill to already be passed. It has always happened in various assemblies that we have had in the country. But the truth of the matter is that, like we have argued, implementation is key. If care is not taken, some of these things might just lie fallow. What if the incoming administration takes over and they are not favorably disposed to it? Of course, it's a matter of law. Once it's law, but there is a way that it can be glossed over. So I hope that in the days ahead, we also have a law that mandates office holder, especially political office holder, such as the president or the governor, to do the needful, not at the twilight of the administration. Once you come in, if you think that this thing is good, pursue it to a logical conclusion, achieve it maybe midway into your administration, and before you leave office, the execution will have been firmly rooted. But the idea of bringing some of these things together at the twilight of your administration, whether you like it or not, the incoming administration will come and sit down to rationalize some of these processes. If some of them are good to them, they will take them. If they are not good, they will discard them. But by and large, all of these bills, they are good bills. They are bills that have good intention. We are only talking about the timing, which can be better done going forward. So for me, it's a good one. That 16, the number is not in the number. Don't also forget, this bill have also been submitted to Mr. President before now. Maybe Mr. President just decided that, yesterday I'm going to sign those bills into law.
Right.
So let the National Assembly on one hand and the executive on the other hand work together. Whatever bill that is good for the nation, then put it together, do it right on time, not at the twilight of an administration.
Conversation. Okay, let's take a look at another headline. Daily Post has its reports. Igbos should stay indoor. Comment a joke. That's pertaining to the Lagos election, and that statement is credited to MC Oluomo.
Yes, that statement came out when the police has taken step that nobody is above the law. They will deal with whosoever that want to fan the ember of discord, especially as it relates to ethnic and tribe. It's uncalled for, it's highly condemnable because that statement is very volatile and inciting. I see the statement, the latest statement of MC Oluomo as a damage control method. You don't play with fire, for example. You don't pour petrol in your own house, set it on fire, and at the end of the day, you tell people that you are joking. It is not possible. The fellow he referred to, Mama Chuku, the Abiya Chuku, they said the fellow is her sister, they've been customer for a long time, the person has spoken, or what have you. These are jokes taken too far, because if care is not taken, this will destroy our brotherhood as a people. Tribe and tongues may differ, but in brotherhood we should stand, and this should cut across every part of the country. What is good in Ibadan here should also be good in Asaba. What is good in Kano should also be good in Enugu. So if we believe in one Nigeria, that is the way we should relate. There is no point intimidating voters to vote for a particular candidate. Right. Let them go out and vote for the candidate of their choice. And if that is going to be free and accessible here, the same thing should be applicable all over the country. So the statement by MC Oluomo, the earlier statement, is condemnable. I see this latest statement as a damage control statement, and I hope that the police will not stop their investigation simply because he has spoken to say that it's a joke. You know, do you know a number of people that will have carried that message? No. How many people will get his latest version of the message that is now a joke?
The update.
So it is uncalled for. It is not proper for non-state actors to just take some decision. And if you look at the issue of MC Oluomo, he has always been in the news, and the government of Lagos seems to not to be able to do something concrete about it.
Yes.
Some people should be called to order. I don't think non-state actors should have that audacious mentality to threaten people.
Because you begin to wonder where's the confidence coming from. You're wondering where's the confidence coming from. Because I remember, before the last election, he also did say some rash things as well, and I believe that was swept under the carpet as well. Now again, another rash statement coming from him. Someone has to, at least at some point, actually sort of disown him or say we're not part of this. I don't know whether it's the APC or the Lagos state government. I mean, someone should have spoken up.
Yes, the best way to do that is to be able to rein in whatever individuals that are involved in such. The reason why MC Oluomo could also make this statement this time around is that such statement was made in the past and nothing was done about it. And don't also forget, we have MC Oluomo in every part of the country. We have them across all the states of the federation. But the ability to manage them is what should be developed. I feel Lagos state government hardly say anything when there are issues and situations like this. Nigeria should be a cosmopolitan state. That is how it should be. But a situation where some people, you make statements that suggest that some people are not wanted somewhere, I think it's uncalled for. So we call on Lagos state government. We also call on security operative not to allow this to go. Do proper investigation. Somebody must be punished to serve as a deterrent. Because if care is not taken, somebody can just wake up tomorrow and also make similar statement that can plunge the country into ethnic and tribal crisis. So all of this has to stop. He has come out to say it's a joke, but like I said, let security operative. I think it was at the moment the police took it up and say nobody should be above the law. Right. They are going to investigate the matter and deal with the situation. That was why I had to make you turn to come up and say this is not a joke. For example, if MC Oluomo is not in the camp of Lagos state government, for example, I am aware that they will have taken a kind of drastic action. So some of this ethnic and tribal discourse should not even be allowed to take the center stage in our politics, for example. Like we have always said, the election is the festival of democracy. What do you do when you are having festival? You'll be celebrating, you'll be rejoicing, you'll be in a joyous mood. It is only in Nigeria that it's almost becoming like a do or die affair. It's either you vote for me or you lose your life when you are not an armed robber. So things should be done properly. That democracy, that this is the longest stretch of democracy we have ever had in the history of the country. Over 20 years, unbroken. So there are certain things that should not be characterized with our democracy anymore. So that issue must be properly investigated, dealt with properly, so that at the end of the day to serve as a deterrent. Because anybody can just rise up tomorrow and say, Austin, you said that you live in Ibadan, or you do my bidding, and that will not go down well with our history and with our brotherhood as a country.
Okay, let's talk about some election issues. Let's touch on some election issues. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has raised alarm over fake identity cards for security personnel on election duty. Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education, actually revealed this in a statement yesterday night. What do you make of this, Austin?
Yes, I think it boils down to politicians. Because of the way the 25th of February election went, a lot of politicians are jittering, especially the state governors. So they are going to make it as much volatile as they can. And security operatives must also be up and running to do their job. Now, when you have identification of fake security operatives putting on wrong tags just to be able to perpetrate their dastardly act, I think the government, through the security operative, should be alive to their responsibility, because elections should not be about winning at all costs. I know this is what people will do. They will employ fake INEC staff, fake adult staff. Now they have got it to a level where they have to recruit free security operatives who are not properly allocated for election duty, just to be able to distort the system and ensure that the wrong candidate emerges. All of this should not allow to stop. The process should have been seamless. Apart from the issue of INEC raising this allegation, I think INEC too should also do their job. Let them do their job by ensuring that the proper thing is done. Proper thing is done in a way that let INEC follow the law, number one, follow also your guideline, because in any electoral process, we have the law, we have the guideline. Both are meant to enhance the credibility and the fidelity of our elections. So both must not be compromised. Of course, if you go to the court as a matter of INEC guideline, you may not be able to win that case. You can only win on things that are as a matter of law. But INEC has also been empowered to come up with innovation such as guidelines to be able to enhance the credibility of our election. So all of this, INEC is just one stakeholder. We also have politicians, we have security operatives. So there are some aberrant politicians who want to compromise the process at all costs. They have seen through the February 25th election that it's no longer business as usual, because the issue of the deployment of beavers has actually eliminated a lot of issues that are associated with our election, where politicians feel that whether they are popular or not, they will win election at all costs. Of course, the 25th election signal a paradigm shift that you may not be able to easily predict the outcome of any election, because a lot of prominent Nigerians who feel that they cannot be able to lose election have also lost. So especially for state governors, they are in a last-minute rush to ensure that they subvert the process. And the government, through the security operative, must not allow that. There is restriction of movement, let that be obeyed. Do the election, and as the result at the polling unit, transmit through the beavers to IRF portal. You only need that. If you are able to do that, you are good to go. The only area where politicians will take the shine and disrupt the process is collation centers. Collation centers, when it is being done manually, that is when they change results. So
Right.
if you eliminate that option, then politicians at the end of the day will further be handicapped. So let INEC do their job, let security operatives do their job. I wonder when you say politician play politics, what politician does is to play politics. So they will always want to be there. Politicians who know that they are not popular, they will want to win at all costs. It is the system that should checkmate them and neutralize every of their tactics. So we are hoping that this alarm that has been raised is properly addressed. Let the DSS, other security operatives address this situation. Any fake security operative must be dealt with frontally. Let the system deal with such individual, not only dealing with them, making them a scapegoat.
Right.
We must also make example of these politicians that they are working for. That is always the area. When there are electoral offenses, we punish the guys on the street. That these are the guys that we punish, the vulnerable people. How about those who contract this violence to them? How about those who give them the contract? So we must also make some big politicians in our society example of this evil that they are doing. We should make them an example by making sure that they face the wrath of the law.
Right.
If we don't do that, we are going to continue to revolve in a circle. So every stakeholder that are involved in this election should do their job creditably well. And I hope that INEC has properly trained some of their ad hoc staff, because the last election revealed that there were no adequate training for some INEC staff and for some of their ad hoc staff. Some of them don't even know how to handle the beavers. That's the truth. So I hope all of that has been adequately taken care of, because it's just the governorship election is almost like epic battle in every election.
Right.
Because some people want to win a re-election, some people want to install their own candidate as governors of the various states across the country. So let the will of the people prevail. That is the way it should go.
All right, Austin, let's take your thoughts on this last one before we open the phone lines. Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday ordered the INEC to electronically transmit today's governorship and House of Assembly election results. That's in accordance with regulations and guidelines. What do you make of this particular one? Your expectations as regards the electronic transmission of results for the elections today?
Yes, as much as possible, let INEC ensure that the result is transmitted electronically. The court cannot just by fiat come up and mandate INEC and say you must transmit result electronically. What is in the law? That is what we should look at. Because I feel that some people rush to court to be able to compel INEC. We are not even talking about 100%. No election can be 100% perfect. But we are talking about substantial compliance. I told you the other time that we have various dimensions to election. One, a matter of law. Secondly, INEC guideline. The issue of transmission of results is about INEC guideline, which they are supposed to make good their promise.
Right.
Because INEC promised and made that promise repeatedly that they are going to ensure that results are uploaded directly to the IRF portal. So let INEC be able to do that. But don't forget, this is Nigeria. We may have some technical issues, genuine technical issue, glitches here and there. We are also operating the same system. Like some people will make transaction and the transaction, financial transaction, and it will not fly. At times it takes number of days and what have you. So the point I'm making, I'm preparing your mind so that we will not say, oh, we expect the election to be perfect 100%. No, it might not be. But INEC should be able, I said the other time, I said let every stakeholder ensure that they perform their duty. Let INEC be able to transmit the result of the election, because that is what they are promised. The case is in court already. At the end of the day, during the legal fire wars, we will know what the law actually say according to interpretation of the court. But going to the court compelling INEC, you can't build something on nothing. So it is not what you achieve by fiat. There are some genuine cases of areas where that may not be able to take place. But all we are asking for is that let there be substantial compliance. Let INEC make good their promise electronic transfer of results. It may not be in the Electoral Act, but this is what INEC has stated in their own guideline. That result, because in the Electoral Act, the issue of transmission of result makes it discretionary for INEC. And when a clause is discretionary,
Right.
it means that it is not mandatory, and such a commission may not be able to be sanctioned for that. But INEC repeatedly has said in their guideline that even verbal promises by the INEC chairman and national commissioners, that result is going to be uploaded directly. If you upload result directly, you have been able to bypass politicians who manipulate the result at collation centers.
Right.
That is what we are asking for, so that the result at every voting center will tally with the official result at the end of the day. Not a situation where we have different results at voting center, and at the end of the day, when you get to ward collation, local government collation, state collation, the result begin to have other version. We don't want that this time around. We want harmonization of the process. Let INEC do the needful by ensuring that they comply with their own provisions, they comply with their own guidelines. All we are saying is that let the election be more credible, let the election be more acceptable. Because if the process is transparent, if the process is seamless, and if the process is flawless, of course, those who have been defeated in an election will easily accept defeat. But when INEC by itself give room for suspicion,
Right.
at the end of the day, loser in the election would think they have been robbed. And this idea of a litigation would have been necessary. So let INEC do their job. Let security operatives do their job. Let politicians also do their job. Let them play by the rule of the game. Because there are some politicians, they know within themselves that they are not popular, they cannot win election, and they want to win at all costs. That is when you have crisis.
Okay, 07055,949, 08097,949. Those are the numbers again, 07055,949, 08097,949. Hello, good morning. Okay, we're trying to call back again. The phone lines are open to you. We're live on Facebook as well. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Denga Mario, calling from Apata.
All right.
Nice job, Mr. Austin. God bless your soul. I want to appeal to everyone to go out today and make sure they cast their vote for the candidate of their choice. Pray that there will not be calamity today. Pray that everything will go smooth and fine in Jesus' name. Thank you very much, Austin. Thank you.
All right. 07055,949, 08097,949. Like I said, we're live on Facebook right now. You can drop your thoughts on Facebook. That's 32FM949. Ibaro. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, I'm John Njoku. Thank you, Austin. You are talking of discussion on the part of INEC, but the same electoral message has been that any result coming from INEC is also biased, null and void, and of no consequences except it transmitted from the polling unit. That is what the same electoral law is saying. But let me leave that very one until another day. I want to encourage Lagos to come out and vote. Despite that threat from Uluomo, Nigeria belongs to us all. Uluomo is only making statement directly from his heart. I know no one is going to sanction him for that. As a man thinking, so he is. I want to encourage them to come out and vote for the person of their choice. Let me be brief so that others can talk. I'm John Njoku. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. On Facebook, Miriam Yetunde says, the long-awaited moment is here. The remaining 28 states will finally decide who to paddle their canoe for the next 4 years. I hope INEC will live up to expectations this time around because they can't keep doing the same thing the same way and expect different results. I also urge all eligible voters to do away with violence and vote selling. May the best candidate emerge. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Monia.
Come again.
I've been calling from Monia.
All right, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, the political business that is being directed at was, I think, one Nigeria. A particular tribe cannot just be sidetracked and be punished unnecessarily. Lagos was built by all of us, both the Hausa, the Igbos, and the Yorubas. So they should not take the Igbos
as a sort of a scapegoat in this political dispensation. Let everybody pedal softly in order for us to have a political terrain. Very good one. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Thank God that today is the day for the gubernatorial election. Please, the residents of Oyo State, the electorate, go out massively and go and vote for your candidate. Because selling your vote is tantamount that you are selling your future. And the security agency have assured the peaceful conduct through the security agency that have deployed to Oyo State. That means there is no cause for alarm. And the electorate, go and use your PVC to vote. Don't cause a violence. That's my advice for everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is Miriam. I'm calling from Odejai.
All right.
So the long-awaited moment is finally here. And this is the day that most states will decide who to govern them for the next 4 years. I only hope eligible voters will be able to make the best choice. And I will urge INEC officials, alongside the security agencies, to live up to expectation. We should all do away from violence and selling of votes. And I pray the best candidate will emerge. That's my day. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. On Facebook, Balkis on Audio says, as D-Day is here, I want to firmly advise Nigerians to abstain from all acts of violence and, of course, to keep their preferences. Okay, I lost that one. Preferences for candidates to themselves, if they might lead to misunderstandings. I trust INEC would carry out their duties appropriately by abiding by the law and taking into account the irregularities that were raised on February 25th, because these were the reasons why the gubernatorial elections were postponed. Good speed to Nigeria. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Kenny.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Austin. You're sharing from here.
All right.
When we put our politics in ethnicity, religion, this is what we do. Getting from North State, Land, EMS, and all that. We did not play politics the way politics should be. Now, every time we play honest, we do the nation. What are the politicians that are doing politics? All these fake police, all these thugs, these guys, INEC has done their own because it has to be fair enough. It is like football. One we win, one we lose. This ethnicity thing has divided us in this politics, in this election. See what Oluwamo is saying. Go to the east, the same thing. Go to the north, the same thing. Only God will save us in this country. Have a nice time.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Your name, please.
This is Grandpa Falabi.
All right, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Just go ahead.
I think INEC should discipline their resident electoral commissioners. They are the culprits. They are responsible for the falsification of elections. So I don't know whether even some of them have been punished before. And very recently, about 4 months ago, about 18 of them were appointed. And those people said that they belong to a particular party. There was protest against that, but still, they are there. So I think the wrecks, they are the worst, and they are the ones who make election in Nigeria faulty. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. 070550949. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Okay. 08097,949, 07055,949. Those are the numbers. On Facebook, Tulope Ademi says the people of Oyo State should not let the pandemonium that happened in Ibadan a few days ago discourage them from coming out en masse this morning to cast their votes for the candidates of their choice and shun all violence and acts that should not allow them to be used by some selfish politicians who have nothing to offer us in Oyo State, but only want power at all cost. This is not the time to complain, but be a part of the process that will usher in a new set of leadership in our dear state. Okay, may God bless Nigeria and Oyo State. All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is John Olaruwaju from Agbo. On the devolution of power, yes, I'm agreeing totally with Austin. We also need the state police. The state police whereby not the state governor that will be in the control. But I think if they are able to do it in the right way, to be able to achieve it very well. So that's a part of it too. Not only the one that the president, I'm not condemning the one the president signed. Yes, it's good. But we need the state police too. And on the INEC, I think INEC needs to be fair enough. Like Austin Radley said, yes, I think even if you are the one that reviewing this election, you need to be fair enough because you need to allow the IRF also to work. Transmission should be electronic, not to be manual, so that everybody will see it and they will know that you are giving us a better one. I'm not expecting the best. I'm not expecting the perfect. But you can even give us the fair one that you can be proud of. Thank you and good morning.
All right. Good morning. On Facebook, Honorable Akinkumi Camille Dikrula says the Governor Legion election is here. Okay, the tune is always different. Election isn't war. Let's play the game wisely. We hope the security agencies in Oyo State and in Ibadan, in particular, clean and deal with any act of thuggery and brigandage today. Remain safe and vote for the unity of our dear state. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Dr. Dunio is my name.
All right.
I think I observed that it seems all the media are now working against Yorubas. Or can I say they are working in favor of Igbos? Because there was massive atrocity committed in the last election in Igbo land. Many people who wanted to vote for that party could not vote because they did not allow them to vote. I have video of many Yorubas that were demonized for voting APC. It was not reported in the media. The Yorubas are not speaking up for their people. Now they are talking about MC Oluoma. Now look at what the Igbos are doing in Lagos. In 2023, they said they wanted to take over Lagos from Yorubas the way Hausa took over Ilorin. Is that how they're supposed to be doing? And no Yoruba is talking. They are all keeping quiet. No election in Igbo land. I have everything on my phone as I'm talking to you. There was massive atrocities, and nobody is saying anything. And that's all the votes casted for Labour Party should be cancelled in the entire Igbo land. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Hello, are you there? Okay, 070550908097949. Those are the numbers if you'd like to be a part of the conversation this morning. Austin, are you still there? Okay, yes. There's something I wanted to raise with you. The issue of the Naira crisis. What has been your assessment of the situation? Much better. Talking about trade, exchange, and commerce, as it were, especially in Oyo State. What have you noticed?
Yes, a little better, but it has not really eased off. That's the truth. It has not really eased off, but it's a little better because the old one is now being paid to customer. That to a large extent has eased off the process. I think as at the close of business yesterday, 2 days ago yesterday, the new Naira also filtered in a little quantity. So generally speaking, we have not been able to achieve a result, but at least the tension has gone down a little.
Right.
We are only hoping speculatively that after this governorship election, more of this fund will come out. And at the end of the day, perhaps in the weeks ahead, things will ease off on the soul.
Okay.
But so far, so good. As you speak now, the tensions are still there. But of course, it has gone down a little bit.
Okay. One more call. Hello, good morning. Okay. I'll take a last call and wrap things up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Baoki Zonodion from Ibadan.
All right.
Okay, I want to encourage Nigerians where the Guba polls will be taking place today to please come out en masse and exercise their franchise. And for those people in Oyo State, that ugly incident that happened on Thursday should not scare them. In my opinion, I want to think it's one of the ways that these marauders want to use to distract electorate. So with that incident, the Young State security personnel has assured us to tighten security. And for the electorate, if they notice anything fishy, they should call 615, the state emergency security number. May the best candidates emerge.
All right. Thank you very much there, Balkis. We have to go now. Austin, your final submissions, thoughts that you'd like to drop before we leave.
Yes, Nigerians should go out to vote for the candidate of their choice. Don't be intimidated. Vote your conscience. Of course, your conscience is not on the ballot. Your conscience has the best character. That's just the truth. So vote your conscience. Don't be intimidated. Vote peacefully. Vote without rancor. Vote without violence. God bless Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much, Austin, for your time. I am Kenny Durotilu. The Papers Review in Yoruba is up next.